So welcome everybody to this practice, which is all about winter. There are props because we're really slowing down today. So props help our bodies get into a relaxed state, which is quite desirable in winter. So we have the kind of call of nature to slow down, to reset, to replenish. But we sometimes have that frantic energy of the run up to Christmas that we have a lot to get done. So if you do have access to yoga bricks, they're fab. If you don't have access to yoga bricks, a bolster will do. No, it won't. Books will do. And then secondly, if you have access to a bolster, that's also really good. If you don't, then you can use two pillows, perhaps with a towel wrapped around it tightly. We're looking for kind of like a fat sausage shape, because today we really are going to honour the seasons and slow down. Our first pose today is called supported fish. And what we do here is we take a brick or something, maybe a rolled up yoga mat or a cushion. We take it behind our shoulder blades. And as we take that behind the shoulder blades, we take our head down, feet together and knees are wide. And we can either take our arms in the sort of shape of a cactus out to the side, or maybe we take them in a wide. So just check that your hips are okay like this. If it feels tight or uncomfortable, then you can have the knees bent, facing up to the sky. So really it's about the breath and slowing down our thoughts, not the shape. So settling into this first shape. So often in the winter, we kind of hunch up and round our shoulders forward. This is a really nice opening for our upper chest. And just allow the eyes now to close and take a really full, deep breath in through your nose. Pause at the top of the breath and take a full exhale, long breath out. Perhaps as a sigh, a release. And there's a quote from Paul Theroux: "Winter is a season of recovery and preparation." He didn't mean preparing for feeding the world and his dog at Christmas. It's about preparation for the blooming of spring. But sometimes we forget is only around the corner. A time to hunker down, to hibernate, trusting that we will be full of fresh shoots again very, very shortly. So as you allow your eyes to close now, feel this opening across the upper chest. And we're going to begin with a breath called climbing breath. So you breathe in through both nostrils. Take a pause at the top of your breath, then breathe in some more. And then take a long, full, slow exhale out. So the in-breath is in two parts. Breathe into heart, pause, breathe in some more, soften on the exhale. Do that for 3 to 4 more rounds as we just slightly tease open our lung tissue. And sometimes winter can feel a time of stagnation, low energy. But as we approach our winter solstice, this is time to pause, to take stock and just restore and nourish ourselves, ready for the action that lies ahead in spring. Just a couple more breaths. So today's practice, we're going to be moving very, very slow and then really dropping into total stillness towards the end. So just from beneath the back of the shoulders, come to lie flat. And then with your hands, close the knees together like you're closing a book. Bring the knees in towards your chest now and just start to circle. So circling the knees one way. Notice the speed at which you're doing this. And whatever speed it is, can you perhaps halve it? And that can be a real challenge. When we're disconnected and in our heads, we're often moving very fast. And now just extend your left leg away from you as you press away into the heel. Lift that right knee up and take the right knee across the midline of your body for a twist. We have our arms wide open. We look towards the right thumb and we just feel the breath in the right side of the body. And close your eyes. So again, we're dropping inside. Where are you tensing in this pose? Can you soften around the right hip, the right shoulder, the jaw? And just use the breath as a way to soften into the body. One more breath. And if we weren't gritting our teeth there, make sure you're not now as we come onto our back and extend the right leg to the sky. Excuse me, holding onto the back of the thigh. Ease that thigh towards you. Just gently, slowly circle the ankle. Roll the shoulders away from the ear. And just maybe we add a little bit of core now where we lift the head and shoulders. Maybe we hover the left leg. Can we do all of this without tensing? Take 3 deep breaths here. And this is just as effective, as efficient lying down too. So we don't have to add intensity. And very slowly come down. And then really mindfully, slowly lower the right leg towards the earth. And you might notice now that leg feels about 1 inch longer than the left. So let's do something about that. Bring in the left knee in now, press away into the right heel and just gently rock that thigh side to side. And then guide it across the midline of the body for your twist. Extend that left arm away, breathing into the left side of the body. And there's a quote from Lao Tzu that says, nature never hurries, but everything is accomplished. So again, just honoring how you're feeling, honoring the winter. We don't have to cram our to-do list today. And now let's come onto the back, extend the left leg, circle the ankle slowly. Ease that left thigh towards you. Same thing, you might lift head and shoulders, might hover the right leg, just breathe. And gently lower, slowly lowering the left leg. And just take a moment here with the palms up, lying on the back. This pose we call Shavasana, corpse pose, and breathe into the whole body. And winter in a way is like the death of the year, but we know that the rebirth is on its way. So just like this pose, this symbolism, breathing into the whole body. And then let's bring the legs up, hold on to the back of the knees, and just roll up and down the spine a couple of times. And then come to a comfortable, if you can, cross-legged position with the left shin in front of the right. And then just roll the shoulders back a couple of times. So again, with a lot of hunching against the cold, often we kind of have aches in our shoulders. Sit nice and tall now. We're just going to do a little flow. As we inhale, arms rise up. As we exhale, we bring them to a cactus. Inhale, arms rise up. As we exhale, right hand to the side, left arm comes up and over. And we're just going to repeat this. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, we cactus. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, we tilt the other side. So just a couple more of those. Inhale, both arms rise. Exhale to cactus. Inhale, we lift. Exhale to the right. Final time. Inhale, we rise. Exhale to cactus. Inhale, we rise. Exhale to the left. And now as we rise up, we're going to come straight back over to side one, to the right. And as the right hand comes down, we extend the left arm and we just stay here now for 3 breaths, all the way down to the left waist. And ever so slightly lean your upper body back. One more full breath, the deepest one yet. Lift yourself up with the left hand, then take it behind you for a twist. So the right hand comes across the midline and we use our arm as a little lever to grow tall, and then we rotate. Roll the shoulders back, find the breath again and feel the breath coming into the side body. And come back. And then let's recross the legs as we repeat what we've just done. So this time I invite you to close your eyes, because again, winter's a time of turning in. So trust that it's not about what it looks like, it's what it feels like. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale to cactus. Inhale, arms rise. Tilt to the left. Inhale, we rise. Exhale to cactus. Inhale, we rise. Tilt to the right. So you're going to do one more of those on both sides with your own breathing pattern in your own time. Closing the eyes if that feels okay. And let the movement last the breath. And now we rise back up again. We take the left hand to the side and we hold this shape for 3 breaths, breathing into the right waist. Soften the right shoulder head. Inhale, we rise. We take the right hand behind you, left hand across, looking over that right shoulder. Feel the breath. And as you breathe out, just drop a little heavier into the earth. Inhale, arms rise up. Second side, tilt to the other side. Right arm rises, deep, deep breath. Draw up the right hip, soften the right shoulder. Let's come back up and take it to a twist this side. So looking over that back shoulder, growing so tall in the spine and breathing into the whole body. And let's come forward. So a very short moving sequence now before we settle into longer held poses. So hands are spread very wide underneath the shoulders. And inhale, let's drop the belly, lift the heart. As we exhale, we round. So coming into a little bit of cat and cow. And moving with the breath. Let the breath dictate the speed. And we're aiming for slow. So now let's take that left hand underneath your face. And as we breathe in, we sweep the right arm up to the sky. And can you take the right arm almost like you're leaning behind you to stretch your pecs? Spread the right fingers. Exhale, right arm threads its way underneath. Right ear comes to the earth. And take a moment there to put a little bit of weight on the right shoulder. Option 1, you stay here. Option 2, you take the left leg back. Option 3, you lift the left leg up. And we breathe. Just let it be really slow, sort of languid moves. Big, deep breath in. So when we come out of this, we get lots of fresh blood to our shoulder. Let's drop that knee again. Let's come back up onto all fours. And take a moment to land. So this time we're going to do what we call barrel rolls. It's like cat and cow, but to the side. So belly drops, ribs to left, round up, ribs to right. It's a nice circular motion of the torso. You might add a little move of the head as well if that feels nourishing. And then change the direction of these circles. So easing into shoulders to side body. This time the right hand comes underneath your face and the left arm rises up. Maybe it reaches a little bit behind you. Breathing into any tightness that you're feeling. And then we come all the way underneath. So a little bit of pressure on the left shoulder. Your ear might rest on a brick or a book or a blanket. Take the right leg back. That's option 1. Right leg lifts. Option 2. Breathing in and breathing out. If we fall, we get back up again. And let's slowly come back. Microphone emergency there. And from there, either stay with your cat and cow or maybe you come in to downward facing dog. Press the floor away, press the heels down, and breathe in as you lift up the heels. Breathe out, let the heels come down. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, heels down, and sweep the right leg up to the sky now, and just pause there to stay. Press into the right heel, make your arms a little bit longer, and feel the stretch all the way down the left leg. And you can intensify it by bringing the left heel down. You can lessen it by lifting the left heel up. So just notice, what is it you're needing? Now take the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Press your left hand to the earth and sweep the right arm up for a twist. Breathing in and breathing out. Take one more deep breath. And now as the right hand comes down, we're going to walk towards the back of the mat. So walking towards your left foot now, bend the left knee and press the outside edge of the right foot into the earth. And take a deep breath into your left hip. Come back to the front of the mat, turn the right toes forward and drop your left knee. And from there now, let's lift our arms towards the sky. So creating space between the waist to the armpits, breathing in. And as you breathe out, drop your pelvis a little closer towards the earth and take 2 more breaths there. And now right hand comes to hip. We lean towards the left, breathe all the way down to the left waist. And take your left elbow across the midline of the body. Excuse me. So we're coming into a twist. So hands come to prayer. Look over that right shoulder. Take 2 full breaths. Make sure no tension has crept into the shoulders. Again, this is not a lot of standing work today. We're just preparing the body to be still. And come back. Hands either side of that right foot now. Let's just sway forward and back a little bit. So easing into our hamstrings. Gave them a little stretch earlier, so just making that perhaps a little bit more intense right now. And then from there, take your hands flat and take the right leg behind you and lift it up. So another little circling out of the joints, the ankle. And if that feels good, maybe left arm lifts up too, and we start to circle the left wrist. So our joints need special love in the winter. They get a little bit more icky and dry. Let's take the left hand down. Let's tuck the right knee down. Take a gentle rest in child's pose. As the forehead comes down, lengthen those arms in front of you and soften. Remembering this practice is all about slowing down, and child's pose again is that metaphor of turning inside, nourishing, just being in the dark. So take 3 deep breaths into the back of your body. What does it feel like to slow down? So on this first round of child's pose, we're going to add a little side stretch. Can we move our right hand to the right and take the left hand on top as we curl and slightly lengthen the left side? Breathe all the way down into the left lung. And soften. One more deep breath. And then let's come over to the other side. So left hand comes down, right hand comes on top. This time we're lengthening the right side of the body. And we come back to down dog. So remember, if child's pose felt really yummy, there's no reason why you can't stay there for the rest of your life. So pause there if you need to. Let's breathe the left leg up now and pause. Remember what you can do with the right heel. Bring it down, lift it up. Pick the right place for you right now and take 3 deep breaths. And then we gaze forward as we take the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Press the right hand into the earth and breathe in as you lift up that left arm. Maybe the hand comes behind you again, just full deep breaths. Then bring that left hand down. Let's walk towards the back of the mat. As we bend the knee, we press into the outside edge of the left foot and breathe into our right hip. 3 deep breaths. Slowly come back to center, drop the right knee. Breathe our way up for a lunge. So growing so tall and long in the spine as you lift the heart and fingertips. And as you breathe out, draw up your pelvis. Breathing in and breathing out. Take 1 more breath. And then pull the tummy in as that right elbow comes across the midline of the body as we come into the twist. Let that right hand press into the left to roll your shoulders back and breathe. And then return to center, take the hands either side of that left foot. And let's just rock and roll across the joints a little bit. So coming forward, lengthening as you come back. Coming forward. Oops, there's a big crack. And now as you come forward, take that left leg behind you. Start to circle the left ankle. And then right arm in front as you circle the right wrist. Couple one way, couple the other direction. Hand down, knee down, back to child's pose. But this time we add a twist. So first of all, we take the right arm underneath as we drop the right ear to the earth. And we start to lengthen the left fingertips away from you. A little bit of a shoulder stretch again. 3 breaths. And then very slowly come up. Let's swap arms over. Left arm underneath, right arm lengthens. Breathe all the way down the right side of the body as you press down onto the left shoulder. And very slowly come all the way up. So a very short standing sequence now. Let's come back into downward facing dog. Take a full breath into the back. Take a sighing breath out. And then slowly walk your way towards the front of your mat.
A little bit of repetition now for our nervous system. Inhale as we lengthen the spine. Exhale as we fold. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, we fold. And with a soft bend in the knees now, let's sweep our way up to stand. Breathing in, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. And just close your eyes a moment as you press your fingertips together, breathing into the center of the chest. And as you breathe out, just soften one thing, the face, the jaw, the muscle, the thought. And now one more conscious breath. And release the hands, take them back overhead and hold on to your left wrist as you tilt to the right. Pause there, lengthen both of the legs. And then with a soft bend in the knees, slowly circle down towards the earth. At the bottom, take a full breath in. Press into the feet, slowly circle back to the right. So one more of those on that side. Breathe in, lengthen the left side body. Exhale, slow circle to earth. Pause at the bottom, breathe in. And let's circle back up. And just pause at the top, take your palms by you. Notice if you're more aware now of the left side of your body. And just breathe into that side. And then let's do side two. Inhale, arms rise, hold the right wrist. Exhale, tilt to the left and just slowly come down to earth. Pause at the bottom, breathe in. Press into the feet, slowly come back. Pause at the top. Exhale to the left. Pause at the bottom. And then come back. And then take both hands overhead. Breathe into the whole body. Exhale, hands to heart. Just a tiny little bit more now. Press the weight into your right foot as you lift up your left knee. Circle that left ankle. And then step back to warrior two. I'm just going to change the way I'm facing. And as we come into warrior two, as we breathe in, straight legs, straight arms. Exhale, we ground the energy back down. Inhale, straight legs, straight arms. Exhale to ground. One more time. And now let's lean back into reverse warrior. Let that left hand come back. Right arm lifts. One breath. And come back up. Forearm to thigh now as we come into side angle. Let that left arm reach over from the waist all the way up towards the ears. Take 2 breaths. So not a usual way, but we're going to transition into triangle from here. So can you straighten the right leg, take the right hand towards the ankle, lift the left arm up to the sky, draw your tummy in, and we're going to flow from triangle to warrior two. As we inhale, we bend the knee, we come into warrior two. As we exhale, we come into triangle pose. Do that 2 more times. And now pause in Trikonasana, so long top arm, and very slowly circle the left arm around the body, so slowly. So circling 2 circles one way, and then we change the direction of our revolution, so taking them the opposite way. And then pause there, reach into the top fingers, breathe into the whole body. And slowly, slowly lift back into warrior two. Pause there, take a breath. And then take hands to hips and step your back foot in to meet your front foot. Pause there, notice the energy. You might feel, I feel like there's more flow on my left side. See what you feel like. Breathe into the whole body. And then we lift up the right knee and we circle the ankle. And we step back, warrior two. Arms are out wide, gaze is forward. Feel your feet on the earth. Inhale, let's reverse. Inhale, straight legs, arms overhead. Exhale, we ground the energy. Do that 2 more with your unique breath. And then as we pause in warrior two, we take one full breath in as we then reverse. Right hand to back leg, left arm rises. Breathing in, breathing out. Now forearm to thigh, right arm comes up and over. And maybe look up to the crook of the right elbow as you press into the right foot. 2 breaths. And then straighten your left leg. Let's come into triangle. 2 straight legs. Top arm towards the sky now. 1 deep breath here. And then inhale, warrior two. Exhale to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale to warrior two. Once again, Trikonasana, triangle. Warrior two. And now we stay. Let that right arm float up. Maybe we look at the right thumb and we're breathing into the whole body. Gaze to the earth. Slowly lift up, warrior two. Hands to hips. Step the back foot in to meet the front foot. And again, just pause there. Hands facing forward. Breathing into the whole body. So one balance before we come to the earth, and we'll take a tree pose. So trees are always a good reminder of the changing seasons because they change each season, don't they? So we'll stand on the right leg, just like we change, often more than once a season. So first of all, the option is to keep both feet on the floor, left foot to the inner thigh or shin, but never on the side of the knee. Press those hands together in prayer and gaze towards the sky maybe. We are going to add on to this tree, so pause and stay here if you're happy there. Otherwise, let's lift the arms up. Cactus the arms as you exhale. Inhale, arms rise. And now we tilt towards that lifted leg. So resting your left hand on that left thigh. Just lean to the side and breathe. Well, I'm cheating now and holding onto my roof. Let's lift ourselves up and maybe a twist now. Take the right hand across the body and we're looking over the left shoulder. Let the left hand rest on your lower back and breathe. And now come forward and take this left foot behind your right. So we're crisscrossing the legs. Just squeeze those inner thighs together. This is a really good way to strengthen the hips. Lift the arms up and just like we did earlier, hold on to the right wrist and tilt to the left. Take a breath. And again, can you slowly circle to the ground? It's not so easy with the legs crossed. Pause at the bottom, take a breath in, and then circle back. So we really need to press into our feet here to stay steady. One more breath, lift the right wrist. Exhale, tilt to the left. Come down to earth, breathe in. Press into the feet as you lift back up again. And undo the arms. So let's stand once again, feet hip width apart. Take a moment to land. Again, maybe there's more awareness in the left side of the body. So pressing into the left heel, the left toes. Let's take tree on this side. So foot to thigh, foot to shin, lift the heart. We always have a wobbly side, so acknowledging whatever yours is. Breathing in, let's lift the arms. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, let's lift the arms. Exhale, maybe we tilt to the right. Pause as you lengthen from left waist to left fingers. Breathe into lift. Hand comes across, left hand comes across, right hand to lower back. Let's look over that back shoulder. And breathe. And let's come back. And as we drop the feet, let's just twist the spine very gently now. So we're sort of slapping our kidneys there with the backs of the hands. And then if there's space and you're not going to whack a cat or hit your sofa, see if you can lift the arms up. So feel a little pull on your armpits. So there's a lot of lymph that accumulates there. And then slowly, you get a little breeze as well, which we don't always need in winter, but slowly bring the hands back and tap the kidneys again. And then shake out the fingers, shake out the toes. Let's get all that energy flowing. So that's the end of our movement practice. We're going to come down onto the ground now.
and really drop into stillness. And sometimes this can be much harder than moving. So kind of honor that. If this is a struggle for you, know that that's very, very normal. What are we doing? Right, so our first shape today is a hip stretch. I'm going to show you the alternative. It will be a form of pigeon. Now, if you have anything going on with your knees, you're going to lie on your back, lift your right leg, flex the foot, and just take it below the left knee. And you might draw the left thigh in towards you. You could also take your left foot to a wall as a little bit of support. If you don't have any issues with your knee, it's much nicer to do this facing forwards. So we're going to set our bricks up to give you a little bit of support. So we have bricks or books, either piled up on top of each other, or you might see here I've made a little slope with mine. And then we're going to put the bolster on top. So if you don't have that, you can do this without a bolster, but this just makes it a little bit more restorative. So we make a little platform, and then we bend our right knee and extend the left leg behind you. So the right heel snuggles up into the left hip. Now we are going to be here for 2 to 3 minutes. So grow tall as you inhale. And as you exhale, we just lie over the bolster. Take one of your ears onto the bolster and either look towards the knees or away. Drop the shoulders and connect to your breathing. So I'm just going to get a little bell to ring when it's time to come out. So pigeon is a pose we really need to soften into. Often we grip our hips, we grit our teeth. Sometimes it's really not comfortable. So can you acknowledge what you're bringing to this pose and see if you can release? So I'm keeping my eye on the clock. We're going to be here in total for 3 minutes. Can you really focus on lengthening your exhale now? The exhale is the breath of letting go, relaxing, releasing. So when 3 minutes is up, I'm going to ring a bell. Upon the sound of the bell, that's your cue to know that you'll be moving soon. But before you do, you'll take 3 final breaths. So allow your weight to drop onto the bolster. Allow everything to soften and settle. And breathe into the whole body. So as we still the body, very often the mind starts to speed up. That's a very human response. Can you notice if that's the case, but do not feed the mind the thoughts with afterthoughts. We acknowledge we're thinking. We might even say quietly to ourselves, thinking, but then we come back to the breath. So we're just coming into our final minute. If that feels overwhelming, it's really about 60 breaths. Slowing the breath down. Let the support beneath you hold you up, and trust that you don't need to hold yourself up right now. So very shortly you'll hear the bell. Reminder, there's still 3 more breaths. And as each breath gets deeper, perhaps there's a sighing breath out at the end. We're really aligning with nature now and slowing down. So don't rush. So we need to do something with that right hip now. Chances are your body knows exactly what it needs. So honor that. So you might come back. You might just take that right leg back. Maybe press away with a heel. You might come into a very, very lazy downward facing dog. But think more of a gentle poodle than a Rottweiler. So just a bit of a sway. And then we slowly lower back down as we go straight onto side two. So remember, never ignore a tweaky knee. That might be that you're lying on your back. Just extend that right leg behind you, consciously lengthen it. Left knee's bent. And we lower the upper body down onto the bolster. Again, it might be the right ear or the left ear, whichever way you did on side two, take it the same pattern. And then we're kind of evening out the neck. And now we settle here for 3-4 minutes. Observing the breath coming in, observing the breath coming out. There is nothing else to do but be here with yourself, holding space for whatever arises. Emotions, feelings, random images. Stay present to all that is without getting taken off somewhere else. And breathing into the whole body. Notice where your mind might be. Tends to go to the same places. And just come back to this breath. And our final minute, again, that's only 6 more breaths. If a minute sounds forever. Connecting back to the breath, back to you. Kindness to yourself if you've drifted again. That's so human. So the bell is an invitation to prepare. This is winter is about preparation, but we take 3 more breaths. And that final breath is releasing sigh. And then come and do what you need to do with the left leg. Again, it might be a little bit of a lengthened back. It might be a very lazy dog. Just whatever you do, a hip sway, a wiggle. Keep the bolster where it is because we're going to use it in this shape for the next one. So whatever you need to do, just all it is important is that we're not moving too quickly. So what we're going to do next is debatable. It's called half hero. Now, many of us, we don't need to be a hero and soldier on through this. For some of us, it won't work. So what we're going to do is lean back on the bolster here to get a little bit of a back bend. And either you'll take your right leg long, left knee is bent, almost like we're in tree pose. This is the easy version if you can't do the other one, because the other one is just down to our skeletal structure. Otherwise, we might bend the left knee, so the left ankle is outside the hips, so we're also stretching our ankle, and then we come to lie back. So this is a really big quad stretch, but some of us, it's just impossible. And it took me years to be able to get into this shape because my body, this muscle's very tight. So don't choose your favorite one. If you can do half hero, I would say do it because it's not a stretch we do very often. But if that's just going to cause you grief, then you come into your tree pose and we lie back and allow the heart to open. So again, we're here for 2 minutes. That might affect your choice. Beginning now. Softening, settling. So we're either stretching our quadricep in half hero or half tree or tree pose. Find the breath again. So if this is a strong pose for you, often our breath starts to become a little laboured. And it might be the first half minute or so is just finding a sense of being able to stay here and breathing, because it's not easy. So dropping back, if you can, into that longer exhale. We've got just over a minute until you hear your next bell. So notice, what thoughts are you feeding? Can you just come back to this next breath? Again, that's 3 more breaths. Sighing is really important. It's about letting go and releasing. So do really sigh, let go of the jaw. Be a little drama queen. No one's listening, maybe. And then to come out, just be careful because it's a strange one. So kind of gently lift up, and then just, if you, especially in half hero, sweep that left leg round and give it a little shake. So holding behind the back of the knee, shake out around the kneecap. That's good to loosen up the ligaments. And then just take a moment between sides, perhaps tapping both backs of the knees. Close your eyes, sit upright. Notice any after taste or echo of that shape. And then let's do side 2. So bending the other leg. So our heel is outside, just outside the hip. And some people don't need a prop at all for this, but that's quite intense. So do use support if you've got it. Leaning back and allow yourself to drop into side 2. Pick the pose that really serves your body, not the ego. And then we rest. 2 minutes now, again, just connecting to this next breath. And then the breath after that. Again, just noticing where the mind continuously takes you. Are you fast forwarding? Are you rewinding? Daydreaming? Just notice what you do. And that's not as a way to beat yourself up, it's as a way of waking up. Where do you spend your present? A final minute in this shape. Can you really drop a little deeper now? Softening face, jaw, muscles, thoughts. Three more breaths, progressively getting deeper. And then again, we slowly come up, we tilt to the left, and we shake out that right leg, give it a little bit of a shake. That's going to loosen up all the ligaments. And then we take the prop to the left. We're not going to need it for the next pose, but we will the one afterwards. So taking your prop to the left, we're going to come into banana pose now. We're going to do this in a very specific way. Lie down on the ground with the knees bent, and then just lift up onto your forearms and just walk the feet to the left. And then lie back, leaning as far towards those feet as you can. And then we start to float in the legs. So we might stack the right leg on top of your left ankle. You might have the both legs straight. And as we did standing, can you hold on to the right wrist as you tilt? So we've actually done this shape earlier, so that we were upright. We're leaning as much as you can to the left without pulling the back or bringing in any kind of discomfort. Bend the elbows so that you can soften the shoulders. And we're going to be here 1 minute in this shape. So breathing into the right side of the body, softening face, jaw, shoulders. Just allow the whole body to breathe. Three more deep breaths. And then just wiggle back to center and bring the knees in towards your chest. Do a little rock from side to side. And then just let your legs come all the way to the left as you take a twist. And this twist will be for 2 minutes. Take your arms in a Y shape. Look, if your neck's okay with it, you look towards the right. If your neck isn't okay with it, you look towards the sky. And again, we simply breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. And if you find that your mind is racing, maybe repeat to yourself slow on the inhale, down on the exhale. And apologies there, I've lied to you actually. We're just going to be here for a minute. So just a few more breaths to go. Again, sorry, 3 breaths there. Finish with a sigh. And you might just lug the prop that you've had there to the other side, just ready for side 2, even though we're not going there straight away. So remember, we're slowing down. Take your time. Let's come back to lying on the back. The same way in, we're going to lift up onto our forearms, wiggle the feet to the right, wiggle the shoulders to the right, and then start to extend the legs. Possibly that left ankle stacks on top. So we're leaning to the right so that we lengthen the left side of our body. And again, we're here for 1 minute. Three more breaths. And then bring those knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a loving hug. We all need those in the midst of winter. And then bring the knees over to the right for a twist. Again, arms are in a Y shape. Head is where it feels most comfortable. This is our final shape before rest. So I'm just going to read the poem today to you now so that we can then have a really quiet relaxation. And this is a poem by the late Irish poet John O'Donoghue. Within the grip of winter, it is almost impossible to imagine the spring. The grey perish landscape is shorn of colour. Only bleakness meets the eye. Everything seems severe and edged. Winter is the oldest season. It has some quality of the absolute. Yet beneath the surface of winter, the miracle of spring is already in preparation. The cold is relenting. Seeds are waking up. Colours are beginning to imagine how they will return. Then imperceptibly, somewhere, one bud opens, and the symphony of renewal is no longer reversible. From the black heart of winter, a miraculous breathing plenitude of colour emerges. The beauty of nature insists on taking its time. Everything is prepared. Nothing is rushed. The rhythm of emergence is a gradual, slow beat, always inching its way forward. Change remains faithful to itself until the new unfolds in the full confidence of true arrival. Because nothing is abrupt, the beginning of spring nearly always catches us unawares. It is there before we see it, and then we can look nowhere without seeing it. Take 3 more deep breaths. And then so slowly, from here, wiggle back into Shavasana. So that might be the bolster behind the backs of the knees, no bolster at all. Whatever you need to do. Maybe there's a blanket that you can grab nearby to cover yourself up. And again, this pose is almost like winter. It symbolizes the death, the ending. But then behind that, we have our rebirth. So allowing yourself to slowly settle, eyes closed, connecting back to your breathing. And simply breathe into the whole body now, just allowing the breath to be its own way, its own sweet rhythm. And feel the weightiness of your body held up by the earth beneath you. Can you drop that body weight into the earth? So we're just here for a few minutes more, just allowing the breath to be as you breathe into your whole body. And just start to make your breathing slightly deeper. And we've taken an hour to really slow down, so try not to speed up. And take your time to very lazily, perhaps there's an overhead stretch. Perhaps it feels good to ease the neck side to side. Perhaps you wiggle fingers and toes. And give yourself one more hug as you bring those knees in towards the chest. And just roll onto whichever side of the body calls you the most. And as you press yourself up into a seat, and maybe you don't, maybe you stay resting, or that's always a really good choice. Otherwise, if you just carve this hour out, just come up upright. Feel that wide open heart full of light. And as we inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. And as we exhale, bring the hands to your heart. And as always, thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.